Hi dear students, this is the fourth part of the fourth module, engineering mechanics. In the third part we have seen the motion with gravity. Now we will try to resolve a sample problem from this topic, that is motion with gravity. The problem is a small steel ball is shot vertically upward from the top of a building 25 meter above the ground with an initial velocity of 18 meter per second. So the ball is thrown up or shot up from a particular height of from a building which is having a height 25 meter from the ground. So this distance, this is the ground. Sorry. This one is the ground. This level is the ground. From there, the height of the building is 25 meter. From above the building only, it is ball is shot up with a velocity 18 meter per second. So the initial velocity while moving the ball upward is 18 meter per second. As we know, it reaches the maximum height. Assume that this is the maximum height. Once it reaches to this maximum height, the final velocity is going to be 0. That's why here it is shown as v is equal to 0. U is equal to 18 meter per second, and this at the maximum height v is equal to 0. We don't know this height. Up to what height the steel ball will rise, that we don't know. That distance we are taking it as h. This height we have taken as h. Now in the second part, what is asked in the question is in what time it will reach the maximum height. So we want to find out the time taken to reach from this point to this point, and the second one is how high above the building will the ball rise. From the building, how much height it will rise. We want to find the value of h. And the third one is compute the velocity with which it will strike the ground. So what happens is once it reaches the maximum point, from there it will move back or freely fall downward. So from this level the ball is falling downward, that is shown here. So while it is moving freely downward, u will be 0, initial velocity will be 0. Then as the acceleration acts, the velocity goes on increasing. Once it reaches the ground level, it will have some velocity v2. So we want to find out that velocity, and the total time also we want to find. Compute the velocity with which it will strike the ground and the total time it is in motion. Total time it is in motion means it is actually started motion from here, then it is moving upward up to this height, then it is moving downward from here to the ground. So total time is, if this is t1, t1 is the time to reach from the building to the maximum height, and t2 is the time from the maximum height to reach the ground, then t1 plus t2 will be the total time the object is in motion. So all these things, all these four quantities we want to find out. So first we will consider the motion of the steel ball from the building upward. So for the upward motion, as I have already told, u is equal to 18 meter per second, and once it reaches the maximum height, v is going to be 0. And acceleration, since it is the ball is moving against the gravity, therefore a is equal to, or alpha equal to minus 9.81 meter per second square, and this height I have taken as h. I don't know this height, but I have taken this height as h, that is from the building to the maximum height the height is h. So s is equal to h for this motion from here to here. U is equal to 0, u is equal to 18 meter per second square, v is equal to 0, and acceleration is minus 9.81 meter per second square, and s is going to be h. So we have for the first part we have v is equal to u plus 80, here v is 0, u is 18, and alpha is a is equal to minus 9.81 into, let this time be t1. From here to here the time taken to travel from here to here is t1. So here we are substituting t1, 18 minus 9.81. From that you will get t1 equal to 1.83 seconds. So within 1.83 seconds the ball will reach from here to here. Now that time we have got, and also we want to find this height also, h also. We know v square minus u square equal to 2as, here s is h. Therefore substituting v square, v is 0, 0 square minus u is 18, therefore minus 18 square equal to 2 into minus 9.81 into h. From that you will get h is equal to 16.51 meter. That is the answer for the second part, that is for B. And first part is, it was, answer is 1.83. So we got the answer for A and B. Now considering the motion of the same from maximum height, that is from this point to ground level, that we want to analyze. Total height from the ground will be this height, h plus height of the building, that is h plus 25. From the earlier calculation we got the h is equal to 16.51, and the building height is given as 25 meters, so the total height will be 41.51 meters. So total height the body freely falls is 41.51 meter. So now considering the downward motion, as I have already told, during the return motion u will be 0, and v finally once it reaches the ground, let the velocity be v2, it will have some velocity v2. So here u is equal to 0, we are assuming as v2, s is equal to 41.51 meter, and acceleration, since the body is moving along the acceleration, therefore it is 9.81 meter per second square. Now let assume t is equal to t2, that is t2 be the time taken to reach the body from highest point to the ground. Now from the relation we have v square minus u square equal to 2as. We know v2 square minus u is 0, 0 square equal to 2 into 9.81 into 41.51. From that you will get v2 equal to 28.54 meter per second. And next equation is v is equal to u plus at. V is equal to u plus at. v2 already we got as 28.54, so we are substituting for v 28.54. u is 0 and a is 9.81. Therefore from this equation we can find the value of t2. T2 you got as 2.91 seconds. So total time the body was in flight is t1 plus t2, that is equal to 1.83 second plus 2.91, that is 4.74 second. So I hope you got the concept. When the body is moving upward, acceleration is minus. When the body is going downward, acceleration is positive g. And what you have to consider is, if the body reaches the maximum point, then once the body is thrown upward, at the maximum point it will have a velocity v, but if you are considering the downward motion, then the initial velocity u will become 0. At the same point, the final velocity, if the body moving upward is having, it will have a velocity v, but at the same point, if the body is considered as moving downward, the initial velocity becomes 0, u is equal to 0. So that point you have to keep in mind. Next one is the important one, projectile motion. A particle which is projected into space at an angle is called the projection. So far we have seen is the vertical motion only, motion with gravity. Here we have considered the straight line motion. Now we will be moving into the curvilinear motion, that is projectile motion. A particle which is projected into space at a particular angle is called projectile. That particular particle is called the projectile. The path of such a particle is called a trajectory, and the motion is called projectile motion. In a projectile motion, the only acceleration acting is in the vertical direction, which is acceleration due to gravity. This point is very important. During a projectile motion, only acceleration acting is in the vertical direction. There won't be any acceleration in the horizontal direction unless it is specified. Usually in the horizontal direction we are not considering any acceleration. Sometimes if in the question acceleration is given in the horizontal direction, then we have to consider that also. Otherwise we will be neglecting that part. We are assuming that acceleration is acting only in the vertical direction or downward direction. There is no acceleration in the horizontal direction. There is no acceleration in the horizontal direction, since gravity does not pull the projectile sideways, only downwards. The gravitation will be, the tendency of the gravitation force is to attract the body in the vertical direction. It won't attract the body in the, or it will not move the body in the horizontal direction. Therefore the acceleration is considered only in the vertical direction. That is very important. This figure shows some examples of the projectile motion. You can see if a basketball is thrown from this point to the basket, see it is moving along a curved path. The ball is thrown with a particular angle, with a particular velocity u. The ball is projected from here, it moves along this curved path, and it is finally reaching the basket. So this is an example for projectile motion. Here also, once the javelin is thrown, it will be moving initially in the upward direction, then finally it will move downward, creating a curved path. These are all the examples for projectile motion. Now before moving to the final topic, we must be having some basic idea about the terminologies used in this field. I will explain one by one. The important first term is velocity of projection u. For every projectile motion, there will be a particular velocity with which the projectile is projected. So that velocity, initial velocity in which velocity it is projected, is called the velocity of projection u. Here you can see this is the velocity of projection u. And next one is angle of projection alpha. This is at what angle the projectile is projected. That is also very important. Angle of projection is the angle with the horizontal at which the projectile is projected. So the velocity, initial velocity, the what angle is made with the horizontal by the initial velocity is known as the angle of projection. This angle with the horizontal, that is what is known as the angle of projection. And time of flight. Time of flight is the total time taken by the projectile to reach the maximum height and to return back to the ground. So time of flight means the projectile is projected from this point, it will be moving along this curved path, and it is reaching this final destination point here. So the total time taken for the particle to reach from here to here, this total time is known as the time of flight. and range is the distance between the point of projection and the point where the projectile strikes the ground. This is the point of projection, and finally the object is falling at this point. So this distance between the point of projection and the projectile, the point where the projectile strikes the ground, that is this horizontal distance, is known as the range R. So this is the, and also one more thing is maximum height. This distance is the maximum height. Okay, so these are the important terminologies used in the field of projectile motion. Now the projectile motion is divided into three categories. We will go to the first case, that is motion of a body projected horizontally. From a particular height, the body is projected horizontally. Actually, not from the ground level, from a particular height h, the projectile is projected with a horizontally with a velocity u, but due to the effect of gravity, the body will be traveling along a curved path, or it will fall down to a point B. So consider a particle thrown horizontally from a point A. Here you can see the point A. The body is thrown horizontally from a point A with a velocity, horizontal velocity u. U is the horizontal velocity, and the point A is at a height of A, h from the ground. The particle is subjected to, now we will be motion of the particle is, we are dividing into two, that is the particle is subjected to horizontal motion with constant velocity u. In the horizontal motion, the velocity is going to be constant. The projectile is projected with a velocity u horizontally, so the velocity along the horizontal direction will not change, it will remain constant. But since gravity is acting, it is having some acceleration in the downward direction. Therefore, velocity from A to B is going to be changing in the case of downward motion, that is vertical downward motion with initial velocity 0 and acceleration due to gravity. So we have divided the projectile motion into two, that is one is horizontal motion with constant velocity u, and the second one is vertical downward motion with initial velocity 0. Initial velocity 0 means here u is in the horizontal direction, in the vertical direction there is no velocity component, so initial velocity in the downward direction is taken as 0, but once it reaches here, it will have some initial velocity, so it will have some final velocity in the downward direction. Due to acceleration, it will attain some velocity. Once it reaches the point B, it will have, definitely will have some velocity in the downward direction. But initial velocity in the downward direction, that is at point A, the vertical velocity component is 0, only velocity is in the horizontal direction. Keep in mind. Now consider the downward motion. First we are considering the downward motion. Here at point A, the vertical component of velocity u is equal to 0 and displacement h is equal to h. You can see here, considering the vertical motion, here u is equal to 0 and total vertical height that the particle traveled is from ground level to this level, that is h. So s is equal to h and u is equal to 0 and g is positive since downward motion, since the body moves towards the gravity, therefore g, acceleration due to gravity, g is positive. Now we have the equation s is equal to ut plus half gt square. Substituting for s is equal to h, u is equal to 0, you get h is equal to 0 into t plus gt square by 2. From that you will get t is equal to root 2h by g. From the earlier figure you can see that t is the time taken by the particle from A to reach B, that is total time from projected point to reaching the destination point, that is what is known as the time of flight. Therefore this can be represented as, small t can be represented as capital T, time of flight equal to root 2h by g, and range is the horizontal distance. If you want to calculate this horizontal distance, how will you calculate the horizontal distance? Horizontal distance you will get it as distance is equal to velocity into time. So since this r, horizontal range is the distance along the horizontal direction, if you want to find the r, then if you want to find the displacement, multiply the velocity with time. So velocity in the horizontal direction is nothing but u, it is going to be constant velocity. So time is time of flight. Time of flight from here, once the particle is projected from A, it reaches B with at a time of flight t. So the same time is taken by from here to here, so time of flight is constant. So r is equal to time of flight into u, that is equal to u into 2 root 2h by g. Since horizontal velocity constant, that is equal to u, and acceleration a is equal to 0. As I have already explained, s is equal to ut plus half at square is the actual equation, but a, acceleration due to gravity or whatever acceleration along the horizontal direction is assumed as 0. There is no acceleration along the horizontal direction, therefore that term becomes 0. So the distance will be u into capital T. So that is the equation for range. But if the acceleration is given, then r is to be calculated with the equation r is equal to ut plus half at square, where t is the small t is the time of flight. So that also is to be keep in mind. Now we will go through a problem from this topic. That is, a pressure tank issues water at A with a horizontal velocity u as shown in figure. From point A, water is issued with a horizontal velocity u. For what range of values of u, water will enter the opening BC. Water want to pass through this opening BC. So the two possibilities are, from A it is released, it will move along a curved path and it will just touch the point B, then it will pass through this opening. Other one is, if the water is thrown from point A and it moves along this curved path, and once it reaches C, it will pass through this point BC. And all for the velocity ranges between B and C, the water will pass through this opening. If the velocity is more than this one, then there is a possibility that water will strike on this wall. If the velocity is too less, then it will be striking at this wall also. So we want to find the range between B and C. So here from the figure it is given that this horizontal distance from the water tank and the wall is 3 meter, and the vertical height to the point B is 1 meter, and from here it is 1.5 meter. So total height is 2.5 meter. From A to C, the distance is 2.5 meter. From A to B, the vertical distance is 1 meter. We are considering the vertical motion only. So required velocity to enter at B, that is our first point. We are calculating the required velocity point enter at B. Here h is equal to 1 meter. Since we are considering the vertical motion only, acceleration will be due to gravity g 9.81. So s is equal to ut plus half at square. That is our equation. U is equal to vertical, in the vertical direction u will be 0. U is along the horizontal direction only. There is no component of velocity in the vertical direction. So if you are considering the vertical motion, then u value will be 0. Therefore s is equal to ut plus half at square. Here s is equal to 1 meter and u is equal to 0. That first term vanishes, plus half at square, half into 9.8 into t1 square. So t1 equal to 0.4515 second. So within 0.4515 second, the water will reach from A to B. Now with that time we can calculate the velocity. Since considering the horizontal motion, first initially we have considered vertical motion from A to B. Now we are considering the horizontal motion from A to B. In that case, the velocity is going to be constant and the distance is 3 meter. So s is equal to ut plus half a t square. A is equal to 0. Therefore that second term vanishes. S is equal to u into t1. So 3 is equal to u1 into t1. From that you will get u1 equal to 3 by 0.4515, that is 6.44 meter per second. Similarly, we can analyze the second part. Here in the second part, the total S is 1 plus 1.5, that is 2.5 meter. So H is equal to 2.5, and range again here it is same. The range is 3 meter itself. So considering the vertical motion, 2.5 equal to half g t2 square. From that you will get the value of t2 as 0.71 per second. Considering the horizontal motion, u2 into t2 equal to 3. From that you will get the value of u2 equal to 4.202 meter per second. So if the water is having a velocity of 6.44 meter per second, then the water will just strike at point B. If the velocity goes on decreasing from 6.44 to 4.20, then if once the velocity reaches 4.2, it will be reaching C. So for all the velocities in between 6.44 and 4.22, the water will pass through this opening. If the velocity is more than 6.44, then water will be striking above the point B, and if the velocity is less than 4.2, the water will be striking below the point C. So water will not enter through this opening. So the range of velocities are between 6.44 and 4.202. Now in this problem we are considering the acceleration also. That's why this problem is given. A rocket is released from a jet fighter flying horizontally at 1200 km per hour at an altitude of 3000 meter. The height is 3000 meter. The jet is flying through a height of 3000 meter and is having a velocity of 1200 km per hour, that we have to be converted into meter per second. That is u. Here it is conversion is here, 1200 into 1000 divided by 1660, that is 333.33 meter per second. That is the velocity of the flight. So once the rocket is released, means rocket will have the same velocity of that of the flight. So the rocket velocity u, initially horizontal velocity of rocket will be u, that is equal to this one, 333.33 meter per second, and in the question it is given that the rocket thrust gives it a constant horizontal acceleration of 6 meter per second. In the horizontal direction it is having some acceleration. Initial case horizontal direction there was no acceleration, so equation was different. Here it is given that In the horizontal direction, acceleration is 6 meter per second square. At what angle below the horizontal should pilot see the target at the instant of releasing the rocket in order to score a hit? So the pilot want to hit the rocket at point B. So at what angle from the horizontal? So he want to project the rocket at a particular angle theta. Then only it will be striking the point B. The rocket will be traveling along this dotted line, this curved path, but it will finally strike at point B. So what should be this angle? That is what our question. So this we know this is already 3000 meter. If you are somehow able to find the range from the equation of tan theta equal to 3000 by range, then you can calculate the value of theta. Since this is theta, this angle also will be theta. That is our aim. So in the going to the solution part, h is equal to 300 meter. In vertical direction, the rocket has initial velocity equal to 0 and moves with gravitational due to acceleration, that is 9.81 meter per second. If you are considering the vertical motion, initial velocity component in the vertical direction is 0. That always we are assuming like that only, and it have an acceleration in the vertical direction as 9.81 meter per second square, since it is downward motion. So the time of flight is obtained as s is equal to ut plus half gt square. So s is 3000 meter, that is vertical height is 3000 meter. U is 0, therefore first term becomes 0. Next term is half into 9/8 t square. From that you will get t equal to 24.73 seconds. That is the time of flight. So within 24.73 second, the rocket will reach from A to B. So time of flight is 24.73. Now horizontal motion, if you want to find the range is equal to, actually if acceleration was not given, the body is moving with constant velocity u, then in that case distance is equal to uniform velocity into time of flight. But here acceleration is given, therefore s is equal to ut plus half a t square. For that we have considered u we got it as 333.33 meter per second. Now horizontal range covered is equal to ut plus half a t square. U is equal to initial velocity is at this point is 333.33 meter per second, and t is time of flight 24.73. Half into acceleration is given as 6. Again t square is 24.73 square. So from this you will get horizontal range is equal to 10,078.5 meter. So once we got the range, then tan theta equal to 3000 divided by 10,000, this much value, that is range, that is equal to 10,078.5 meter. From that you will get the value of theta equal to 16.576 degree.